Gentleman has spent a lot of time in a penitentiary, and I guess y'all will see for yourself.
Got locked up. See, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
Right.
You know, and at the age of 13, I'm packing guns out there in the streets.
Right.
I was lethal out there. I was a menace though, for real.
Right.
Out of control. I had a run in with the police, right?
Right.
They stopped the car, man, on 34th Street in Louisville. They put it on the front page of the Courier Journal how bad it shot the car up, but I didn't get shot.
Right.
And one of the police stuck his gun through the window and emptied it. I saw the fire coming out
Right.
and didn't get hit. So on our way to the police station, I'm a child.
Right.
He said, if it wasn't for your friends crowding around, we would have killed you, black ass. And I spit in his face, right? So
Wow.
the police driving took his hand off the steering wheel because dude went for his gun, right?
Right.
So they called a backup and all this stuff, come and put me in another police car. You know, we on Broadway,
Right.
you know. And so when I got out, a white lady, I'm gonna put it like this, a fat white lady said she saw a young child, me, take a rock and throw it at this security guard building because the guard, the police that shot through the window, he got taken off. They gave him a security guard job until he quiets down, right?
Right.
She said he came out and she saw the child shoot him twice and kill him, right?
Right.
And ran.
Right.
She said she saw me in a car drive past her first, casing it out, and then walk back and do it, right?
Right.
So at trial, we at trial in Louisville, Kentucky, all the police is in the city is in the courtroom.
Right.
They want justice. So they said, is the killer anywhere in the court? Do you see him? Point him out. So she looked over at me and I gave her, my little look I always give my mama when I want to get my way.
Right.
Just a real child look, right? And she tipped her head sideways like she's making a hell of a decision, right? Can you point him out? She said, no, he's not in this courtroom.
Wow.
Case dismissed. All the police went nuts.
Right.
So I got up and I started hot. Instead of me looking at, I was too young to be, I was mentally immature.
Right.
Instead of saying, oh God, thank you, I started hollering, you bitch. And I ran out of the courthouse and there was a police car. There was a lot of police out there talking, waiting on the verdict. And one car was parked in the street. It wasn't parked, it was on. And I just jumped in the police car. I stole that car right in front of them as soon as I beat that case.
You beat the case and stole a car?
Wow. That is crazy right there. That is really, really, really crazy.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Man, I was an attention-seeking juvenile.
Was you that ugly?
Yeah, I was.
What could you want? It's hard for me to look at you right now.
No,
I mean, I'm for real.
I'm serious. I'm serious.
I thought I was ugly.
No, here's what happened.
No, I'm for real. I thot I was ugly. But you was a sight to see.
Yeah, I was.
Still now.
Yeah.
Not was. Right now. No, let's go on. So you don't go.
So
you hop in a police car.
And I stole it. So I went on and towed the car up, right? Wrecked it, shot it up, all this.
What?
And then I robbed 16 places.
With the car?
No, not with their car, with another car.
So you robbed 16 places after that?
Yeah, and I got caught. On the last one, I got caught.
Stop playing with me.
And that's why, even though
This dude belonged in jail.
was when they finally caught me, at first they wanted to send me to Central State Hospital, right? Mental ward, get a mental evaluation.
Yeah, he needed a mental evaluation. He needed one then.
What's wrong with him?
And I'm pretty sure he needs one now.
I escaped, right? I escaped. I hit a lady with a chair, picked a chair up and hit her in the head, took her keys, right?
is wrong with you?
Yeah, I wanted out. They had me on drugs. I mean, I ain't with this shit, man. So I took the car from Indiana. I went to Indiana, and
This all while you 15.
No, I wasn't 15. I was 13.
Oh, stop playing with me.
No, I'm not. I took the car off the bridge, bro. That's in the newspaper. It made front page of the Pure Jonah News.
13 years old and on a rampage.
Paper, and it's still in the archive. All you got to do is go back on to 1974.
You
And
drove a car.
I took it off the bridge.
Stop playing with me.
Took it off the bridge, and before it hit the water, I'm out the car. We hit the water at the same time, me and the car. I went up under the bridge, came out of my clothes because all my clothes are filling up with water. And, you know, it's like I was swimming bricks, right? They found my clothes and stuff, wrote it in another front page cover. See, all this is in my book, Who's Fleece Johnson, on Amazon. I got the newspaper articles in there, right? And they said that a fish ate me, and they wrote me off as dead.
A fish ate you.
Yeah, they said they had a fruit. They gave what they found in the river. They had a funeral. My mom and them had a funeral where everybody was there. They thought I was.
Stop playing with me.
I'm not playing with you. 3 months later, I did some more. And when they caught me, they sent me to penitentiary.
So hold on. So they thought you was dead.
Yeah.
Your family had a funeral for you.
Yeah, they thought I was dead.
And then they caught you.
No, I came back home after 3 months to see my mama.
But you ain't know they thought you was dead.
Yeah, they thought. Yeah, I knew they thought I was dead. My sister told me.
And they had a funeral for you.
Yeah.
So
Mama ain't even,
stop playing with me.
For real.
They had a funeral for you?
Yeah.
Right. So they had a funeral for you, and then you come back, the police get you, you go to jail.
Yeah.
So all that time, I bet you got you some good pussy and all that time?
No, I ain't even know a girl.
What?
I never had a girlfriend. Period. Never kissed one. I'm 13, bro. By the time they catch me, I turned 14. That's when they put me in jail, right?
And you never had no woman?
Never.
You never touched a woman? Never tasted?
Never seen her naked? None of that.
So you wasn't interested in women?
Nah, I wasn't that I wasn't. I was actually scared of them.
What you scared of women for?
You know, cause when I was a little child, about this little, I was coming home from the pool, right?
Right.
And this black lady, she was about 26 or something. She said, "Hey, young boy." So I looked up. She was standing in the door with the screen, and she showed me her pussy. But it would be like a motherfucking neck. And I thought it was ugly shit I ever seen in my damn.
Oh my God. Man, what? This is hilarious, man.
Of light, and when she opened it up and I seen all, I said, "Yeah!" I ran, man. It's like traumatized me, man.
The pussy traumatized.
Man.
So, bro, you told me pussy traumatized you?
Yeah, when I was that young.
Stop playing with me.
Nah, I'm telling you.
Stop, pussy. Bro, it's pussy.
At that age, pussy, the way she did her pussy was ugly as
How can pussy be? Bro, pussy not ugly.
You're a liar. So I don't see, man, some pussies just ugly as
Not ugly as you.
Probably not. But
listen.
No, I'm being serious. I'm being dead.
I'm being serious too. Make the gun plan.
Serious. That
The
fuck me up.
Open that motherfucker like
Yeah, she just all that shit. Yeah, she just sprayed her shit open.
Like this though.
And I ran, right?
Just slap on the table like that.
Nah, she was standing up at the door in the screen. See, I'm walking. I'm coming from the pool. She said, "Hey, little boy."
And she whipped him up out like that.
And she done like that and showed it to me. I said, "Eat." And when she spread, I said, "Ah!" And I started running, right?
You gone.
Yeah, I'm running hard in the mother. That was the old look. So I'm in prison. I mean, I'm in jail now at 14.
They lock you up.
So now
No pussy.
I'm fighting for, to try to get out of this, right? And everybody in the city is complaining. They had a march. They had a march to the courthouse over me. For what? Because I'm a child in an adult institution.
You just did 16 robberies.
Well, I'm a child still by age.
You did 16 robberies, got out of jail for murder. You stole a police car.
Well, they don't know all this. They look at me as a child. Why
Nigga, you
y'all
ain't
doing
no
him like
child.
that? No, I was a beast for real.
All right, but finish.
So I'm in jail. So I turned 15
Right,
and then I go to court.
right.
So only thing they could do is took all the stuff, ran it together, gave me 10 years, right?
10 ain't that bad.
They say you got 10 years, 10 withheld for 5 years. If you do
10 years for juvenile, adolescent. I mean, he was only 14 with 10 years.
anything else within that 10 years, that other 10, you're gonna have to do that too.
That's cool. You get some pussy in 10, 20 years. That's good.
Nah, I'm in prison.
Yeah,
So
it's all good. You don't
I
got
go to prison. I'm 15. Soon I hit prison, about 3 months later, I turned 16. So the Courier Journal, same newspaper, came down there, did an article. 16-year-old prisoner want to get out. That's in my book, in the back of it. And so I was still wild in prison. But the prison they had me in was like, it wasn't all that. They sent me to that real bad one, Eddyville. The maximum security where they got all the serial killers, all the rapists, everything you can think of nasty is in that prison.
right.
Now I'm thinking I'm wild. Man, when I go to this prison, first day I was there, I had a fight, right?
They gone.
Man, I had a fight the first day I was there, man, over some white people came out with something that if you eat cheese, you a rat. So when nobody in the prison
What?
eat cheese.
If you eat cheese, you're a rat.
Yeah, they had that out in that prison. Wouldn't nobody eat it. Cause motherfuckers would stab them and all this shit. So
Over
when I
eating
came through the
cheese?
land, they had cheeseburgers on. So I said, man, can I get some of that cheese? So dude put a whole block on my tray, like saying, sure. So my friends say, hey, man, get that off your tray, man. They're going to say you're a rat. I said, man, I dare them. So he said, I ain't shot. I said, go on somewhere there, little punk. I don't need you to sit here with me. And while I was getting ready to eat, I heard somebody say, rat. I said, who's doing that? Rat. And I saw the table, we locked eyes, and he said it. I said, okay, I laughed. I said, I'm gonna eat my food first, right? Because they had metal food trays back in. I said, I'm gonna eat my food, and I'm gonna smack him right in the head with this goddamn tray, right? So
But you eat that cheese first.
Yeah, I ate all
Rat
that
ass.
shit. Yeah, I sure did.
Right.
But when I hit him, I felt like two of them. The goals is over. We went to the hole.
But you finished the food.
Yeah, I finished my food I couldn't eat all that cheese, but I ate a whole lot. It was a big block on there. So they thought I wasn't gonna come back to the yard. You know, cause white people was running that prison back then. They had all the weapons and all. They were stabbing motherfuckers and killing them. I came out and this old skinny black man, he said, I don't know who you are or where you from, but I admire what you did.
Right.
He said, I'm too old to fight. They gonna come for you. And he gave me a butcher knife. And when I seen him coming, I said, I was walking towards him. I said, man, get it over with. And I just took off running towards him, right? Pulled a knife out and they scattered. Hey, hold up, young blood. Hey, man, we just came to talk, man. Hey, man, we glad you did what you did. Hey, man, I don't know who put that out. But, man, I know I ate cheese. I ain't no goddamn rat.
Right.
So they cleaned it up.
Right.
So that was a victory in my first day. So everything was going good. And then they put me in a cell with this big old freak, right? Big black, you know, they called him Doc. And he was about like 6'5", weighed about 295. See, I didn't know before they put me in there that he had a hole in the wall. The hole was already there.
Right.
He took a balloon thing and put some baby powder in it, and then and blowed it up and tied it and squeeze it up there in the thing. So when he run his hand through the wall and it's pop, it'll sound like the bricks is falling out of the wall, like he actually did it, right?
Yeah.
See, I ain't know all this, right? And so it didn't nose about the size of my fist, man. He had red eyes, big nasty, jet black, looked like he was blue, just a monster, a beast looking of a
He
man,
about
right?
to fuck out you.
And he had a lot of holes in his underwear where his dickhead kept popping out of his
Oh, that
undershirt.
motherfucker about to go in you.
Yeah, he wanted me.
Yeah. Was it
And
hard?
so-
Was it hard?
Nah, what?
Oh. What the f you looking for? What was you looking for?
Can't help but seeing all
But you
this.
looked at it.
And I told him, Miss, I said, hey, man, why don't you give, I know I had a little tiny voice. I said, why don't you give me some respect? He said, respect? He's the only thing I'm going to give you this big black cock, nigga. And he tore his shirt, his drawers open, and his thing popped out like that, and it was up. And he hit that wall. Boom. He said, ah. And he was shaking his arm like when he pulled it out. When I seen
You
all
thought
that,
he threw a brick wall.
man, when I seen all that, I didn't know it was baby powder. When I seen all that white shit and he blew his knuckles, he said, like he was really going off.
You about to open that ass up.
Man, he ran off.
The hell? Man, this is too wild, man. Unc is too loose, man.
Yeah, I was gonna give it to him.
Oh!
I'm not
Oh!
lying. At motherfucker said, stand up. I stood up. I said, hey man, can we talk about this? He said, he ain't gonna be no talking. Nigga, all in my ears. Man, I couldn't even think. Only thing I can remember is this just ran his hand through a goddamn brick wall, right?
Knife is running through my ass.
I said, he said, do I gotta fight you?
No.
Hell no.
You bring that motherfucker
And
over.
I'm thinking, I said, how I'm gonna do it? How you do it? How you get it in? I'm all this. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it good to him.
You think you was some good at it?
He made one mistake though. No, he almost had me. He made one mistake.
He almost had that ass.
He squeezed my mouth open and said, you man. And when he tried to stick that big nasty cow tongue in my mouth, it was a coffee stain. He Jack Mac his and he Jack Mac raw. You know, his breath, he said, I'm gonna love you. I said, and that knife poked my leg. Nah, remember I got the knife. I said, man, this about to kill me. So I said like that and ripped him. He ran to the door. And then everybody started shaking the door. Man down. Go. I said, what walk? I said, man, get him again. I went down his back like,
Oh,
split all that open, right?
oh,
He's, God. He just
oh.
lays, he's on the
You
ground.
should have took his booty.
No, I'm scared to death. Man, I'm shaking. My hands are shaking so bad. When them guards came up, they said, back up, back the up. Drop the weapon, back up. I'm sitting there like this, man. I said, man, go stop it. Did, man.
No.
Blood everywhere, all out in the hallway. He's bleeding out real good. And they opened the door, drug him out, put him on the stretcher, ran him down, and left the door open. He said, drop the weapon. I threw it. Turn around. They handcuffed me and took me to the hole. But here's what messed me up. I go to the hole the very next day. Them racist motherfuckers down there say, we ain't gonna put no charges on you. Matter of fact, we're gonna tear this right-up up.
Stop playing with me.
We're gonna put you back in the cell. Everything in there is yours now. You just got to clean the blood up. We're gonna give you all the stuff. They say you'll never see him again.
Oh my
And I
God.
never did. All his shit, cluster rings. All
You
this
sure?
shit.
You
Watch it.
hold
I
on,
said, I'm gonna sell all this.
you sure you eat that cheese because you was a rat?
Huh?
You sure you eat that cheese because you was a rat?
That's one thing I never been.
So no, that's kind of crazy. They put you back in the cell. This back in the '60s or something.
Yeah, that was in the service.
So they put you back in the cell.
Yeah, and
So
I
you-
cleaned up all the blood and all that. But then I had a couple of more little fights. I was winning all my battles, right? Then I got on the boxing team, started learning how to fight. And I was good, man. We boxed Fort Campbell, the Army.
What call that? When you start
But
getting
now,
horny?
that's
No,
why
when you start getting
going
horny?
to- I'm
When
telling
did you start getting horny?
Man, they brought one in one day. I used to speak against it. You fag. Stay away from me. Don't talk to me. And one day I was in the shower, and this little young one, he said, why you don't like me? I said, shut up, fag. But when I turned around and seen how big his ass was, I said, oh, God damn. He said, what? I said, hey, baby. I said, look, I was wrong the way I talked to you, and I apologize. You accept my apology. He said, yeah, what was wrong with you? I said, look, I don't know what it was, baby. I said, look, let me come over and talk to you.
So you say you thought it was a girl at this point?
Man, I was looking at his him.
Oh, stop,
I'm
man.
gonna fuck him. And I fucked it. And he was the first one I fucked. And see, he played it. He knew I didn't know nothing about sex, right? I come and I slobber all over his neck and snot come out of my nose. I was like, it was the first time I ever cream was in the booty.
Nigga, you nasty.
Yeah, it was in the booty.
All right.
And so he told me later, when I was up there gambling, he came up and said, honey, I got something to tell you. I said, what? I'm in a big hand. I'm getting ready to lose a lot of money too. I said, what is it? He said, I'm pregnant. I said, oh, God damn.
Stop.
I swear to God.
With me.
He said,
Man, this is some wild, sick shit. I'm telling you, boy, I'm be loose, man.
I'm pregnant.
Stop.
I said, oh my God, I'm gonna be a daddy. Cause I thought I actually got him pregnant. Cause I was a child.
I'm gonna throw up.
I'm ready to fight whoever. And it got so bad that the warden called me to his office and said, what do you want to talk to me about? I said, look, boy.
Hold on, stop.
I said,
No, I'm not even getting
I don't want my kid locked up. I said, look, I know when she had my son, could you, I want to, I know y'all gonna put him in a group home or something, but he just sitting there like kids looking at me. He wasn't saying,
dumb.
I said, look,
Freak.
will you give me, he said, well, I got somebody that want to talk to you. And it was a lady, she was a psychiatrist. She said, congratulations, Fleece. Do you know what it's gonna be, a boy or a girl? I said, no, I don't know yet, but they say they're gonna let me know. And I thank y'all, I really do, man. I gotta call my mama, man. I called my mama, she hung up.
Yeah, I hung up too.
No, for real.
What did you tell your mama when you called her?
I said, mama? She said, yeah. I said, look, don't get mad, but you got a grandbaby coming? She said, I got a what? A grandbaby. I said, look, I got somebody pregnant. She said, click. She know I'm locked up. She don't want to hear that shit.
She know you boys.
I fucked him, and when I fucked him, I couldn't stop.
Stop.
I couldn't stop, man.
Stop. What you mean?
I've grown up in prison.
What you mean you couldn't stop? You couldn't
This is all
stop.
I know.
All you do, you only had it one time.
Man, I loved it. I was stuck. Like they say, you love you never forget your first love. That's why I always heard. That was my first love, booty. And from a man was my first love, right? You never forget that, right? The first time you come in somebody. And he came out of his cell with pillows and shit up under his shit. He said, now look, now you gonna believe these motherfuckers? Look at my stomach. I said, oh God, can I touch it? He said, no, you can't touch it because you didn't even want to accept the baby. You said, I said, look, any one of you motherfuckers say something to me. I kill anybody.
Even a kid about this pillow baby.
And one of my friends that I box with, he said, look, man, I know we gonna fight. I said, what? I gotta do this, my nigga. He said, man, you can whoop me, kill me, Felice. I gotta do this. He went over and just tore his shit off, right? And I seen all that shit fall out of him.
The baby.
No, clothes and shit. So I got it up. I bought my friend. I said, well, you lied to me, bitch. Huh? Oh, where you lied? He said, you know, I can't. I said, no, you a man. And so I beat him. I said, you don't come back to his yard, or I kill you out here.
Because you beat him because you wanted the baby, you beat him because he wasn't pregnant.
Cause he tricked me, man.
How can he trick you and you know he had a You tricked yourself.
I didn't know nothing about sex, man, until I growed up a child in there, bruh. And then I say, fuck it. They say he ain't gonna come out. So I sent word over and told him, I said, come on out. You know, I know you're a man, right? You can't have a baby, but
Hold on, so you ain't know it was a man?
huh?
You never know it was a man?
Man, them motherfuckers in
Hold on. So you from the back and you didn't know it was a man?
I knew he was a man one day when he was sitting front he was holding a rag over his right? And he sat on my, and when I started hunching up like that, he let go and he hit me in the stomach. I said, what the must have made a slapping noise like that. I said, I threw him out for me. He said, what you doing? I said, look, put that in a holster or something, right? Holster that
what you mean holster?
That like a rifle. And smacked me in the chest. I said, God damn.
In the chest?
Yeah, he did. He was holding it with a rag like that. And then I said, put your arms around my neck. When he let go, his dick said, I said, oh, shit.
You want his arms around your neck?
Man, I was in love, bruh. Bruh, I was in love, man. Booty love. So that's how it took
I'm
off.
gonna throw up.
And I think the worstest thing, I ain't gonna call it the worstest thing. I had a friend and we was friends for like 18 years, right?
We need all of this. Come on.
And we was friends for 18 years and he said the police. I said, yeah, bro. You know, it's my nigga, right? I never seen him in no, right? He said, I got a present for you. I got money, I got weed, whiskey, I got all this shit. It's my birthday. I'm getting ready to throw, man. We got some battle rapping and all this gonna happen. So he took me in a little spot and he pulled his pants down. I said, bro, what are you doing, man? He said, you know you won't say. I seen how you look at me. I said, man, put your shit up. You my nigga. But when he spread that mouth open, he said, you sure? I said, come here, baby. I said, why are you doing me like? Why are you teasing me like that?
I don't know how much more. I can't even get through this video anymore. I just can't do it. This is it, y'all. We out of here on this one. This is just too. Yeah, this is just too. No. All right, y'all.